Hey y'all. Specials of the Strange here. Tonight, we initially planned on a bit of a concert for you, but I realized with everything that's been happening, that just won't do. Got a lot of ground to cover. So, it's been quite chaotic. There's probably a few things that many of y'all have been wondering if you've been paying attention. Hopefully I can answer some of those questions tonight. Please do stick around, because you will not want to miss this stuff. Many of you may be wondering what's been going on. Those of you who've been following me for a while now may know that I've been a part of this company, trying to help fuel some of the things I've always dreamed of. Unfortunately, some things just didn't work out. Quite a few of you have been messaging me about that. And before we get into tonight's activities, I wanted to simply release a bit of a statement now that I've had some time to percolate on things. See, how should I put this? And just a little side note, I decided to do this presentation like this, so that way I can articulate my thoughts a bit clearer on what's been going on. I didn't want to make that choice, but some personal matters made it to where it was for the best. Now, if anybody from that company is watching, know that I hold no resentment. There are no hard feelings, and I still love and support you all. My recent events made me question where I could stand in order to do the most good. And that's what tonight's video is all about. Tonight, I'm going to play you a little music. Maybe you've already heard a little bit. I'm going to show you a bit of new trailers for an upcoming book. Singing a few songs, maybe answer a few more questions. And also put out a special plea. Because a situation is unfolding that many of you have been wondering about for quite some time. Many of you have been wanting to hear updates on. And I'll do my best to give them to you. And who knows, just maybe, you may catch a few surprises. Now this house, I'm going to happens to be of importance to me.
It doesn't get easier the further I run.
It's the house where I grew up.
It gets harder to carry the weight of what I've
Two
done.
of my most life-changing moments took place.
From experience.
The first was me taking my own life. Brought back by the Archangel Michael, who introduced me to a little girl that may be my daughter I have yet to have.
Olivia.
Seems to me a man can do
Honestly, I don't really care to come back to this town much. People aren't exactly very kind to outsiders. This is a heavily emotional case. It's preoccupied my mind for pretty much half my life.
This was far from my first encounter with the supernatural. It certainly was the most important one. It took me years to figure something out. The lengths I've traveled, the people I've met. The further down I went, the more confusing the situation got. I still have no clue who her mother is. When my daughter came into my life, she opened a door to something that is still beyond explanation. Can you imagine what's going to happen when she's actually born?
Okay, who was that? Did you just say God?
Coming soon.
Not too long ago, a couple dear friends of mine asked me a question, and with everything that's been going on, I've come to realize that I didn't really give much of an honest answer. These two operate under the name of Ontario's Most Haunted, and go check them out when you get a chance. Those guys really deserve some love. They're awesome. You know, this isn't some sort of paid endorsement. They just became friends I hope to have around for a really long time. We tried doing a little interview, and they asked me what was my goal with all of this, everything I do. Investigating the paranormal, the music, the movies, the books. What was the point of it all? The answer I gave clearly wasn't that great, because I can't even remember what I said. But the reason why I chose to play that commercial for one of the first movies I produced on my own, The Hunt for Olivia, is because that has something to do with it. In fact, it's a strong motivator. For those of you who don't know, I really don't have a lot of people in my life. My family is virtually next to nothing. Yeah, I do have a lot of siblings and that, but there's only really 4 blood relatives left anymore. And being that I was always a taller guy and went through a lot of issues where my father was abusive in every form of the word, my stepmother tried to kill me when I was 3. Guy used into drugs. My father is currently in prison for sexually assaulting one of my sisters. The list goes on. And there were points where I got low. I wanted to take my own life. But this mysterious little girl came out of nowhere and saved me. And it wasn't necessarily her appearance that caught my attention, is what she said to me. She said, "Daddy, please don't do it." The reason why I do what I do is so I can do my best to become the father she deserves. To be the best husband to whoever her mother may be. And this goes into the segue of the plea I was mentioning earlier. Because in the last few months, there's been a rather interesting series of events that unfolded. All tied to the Lord of Shadows. And much like the trailer for The Hunt for Olivia, showed, there's a chance that this may even caught the attention of God, of the one big creator being. Which raises even more concern. Because my daughter, Olivia, apparently she's been helping in the fight against the Lord of Shadows. Now, who is that, you may be wondering? Known by several different names, it's spotted all over the world. Most famous example of its appearance is what looks like to be wearing a cowboy hat, a long trench coat, a suit, all shadow. Seems to appear 6.5 to sometimes 8 feet, 9 feet tall. His appearance changes slightly, but all in all, the message is still the same. It's fucking evil. And as of recording this, there have been 10 confirmed eyewitnesses, including myself, who have spotted my daughter. I've talked about theories where it's been blood relatives. Maybe the only time that someone outside of blood family is going to see her would be her biological mother, or to-be mother, rather, however you want to put it. Time travel is weird. But it seems those theories are out the window, even though there are recordings now that seem to suggest that I'm hot on the trail. In fact, let me play you one that I happened to catch when I was trying to do an alien experiment. An experiment to try to make contact with extraterrestrials. Trust me, this is going to be weird. This is weird. Because something shows up that I'm honestly still not sure whether or not to call it, or what to call it, rather. Trust me, you gotta see this.
I'm gonna flash my light 3 times. If anybody can see me, can you do the same? 1, 2, 3. Olivia? Baby girl, is that you? You okay?
That's an interesting catch now, ain't it? wasn't expecting that to happen, but quite frankly, how can you ever be too sure of what will happen anymore with how crazy the world has been? Since I released The Hunt for Olivia back in October, and while I was collaborating with the company, this case has come more and more alive. To which it's made me really start thinking about the type of man I want to be. Even more so. Now, I'm just going to say this. There's been times where I crossed the line with a few jokes. I said some kind of insensitive things. Because I got caught up in the hype type of thing. That's not the type of person I want to be known as. I want to spread love. I want to spread happiness, hope. In fact, that's Olivia's middle name. Because of how much she's helped me over the years, the fact that she's literally the reason I'm still alive. Her name is Olivia Hope. And being that now there are people who I wish to keep around in my life for a very long time, I need to start really thinking about things. Because to be honest with y'all, I'm always been the type of guy who tends to fall in love with those he develops an emotional bond with. Yeah, I'm demisexual, whatever. So, and some of the people that have helped me put together this latest information, they've done their best to be understanding of my position, of my thought process. And to which I can't help but admire and respect them even more because of it. So with that, here it goes. This is a generated image of Olivia utilizing information from the first 7 eyewitness testimonies. All of the people that have claimed to see her, excluding myself, have verified that this is the little girl they see. Now this is the part where I need your help. I need to know if any of you have seen this thing as well. She has blonde hair, has a very similar appearance to me. She will look like she's about age 5 or 6, but if she actually talks to you, interacts with you, she may act a little younger. Mind you, I myself, I'm a bigger guy. I'm 6'7". Since I was born, I was practically always mistaken for someone who's roughly double my actual age. And this started when I was young. There may actually be a photo here I can show you of myself roughly around the age of 3, just to give you a rough idea. Scary how much she looks like me. She has a bit of a sassy attitude, but not in a mean sort of sense. And it appears that right now the only connection between all the eyewitnesses is that they have all had encounters with the Lord of Shadows, like I mentioned. She is not helping that thing. She's trying to help fight it. Interestingly enough, one eyewitness claims that she seemed to be holding someone's hand. Someone who they couldn't see. They could see her just clearly. Another interesting thing to note is that she is popping up in locations I have never physically been. Obviously, aside from a few times I've seen her, she is popping up to people who I have not physically met face to face. which is interesting to say the least. And a couple of these people swear that they have seen her for a lot longer than they have known me. So who's to say? It's hard to say what may happen in the near future. So, being that is the case, I need to collect even more information. So if any of you believe you have seen this girl, matching the description that I told you, please do reach out to me on any of my social media pages. You can find my information. There's a flow page in the description of this video that will take you to a lot of links where you can contact me personally. If possible, I need to know what she was doing, what she's wearing, if it seemed like she was alone, things like that. And I need to know if what was happening when she showed up. Was it just like out of the blue one day, or did something happen that prompted her visit? I'm putting this out there now because I have no idea what else to do. It seems that the more I find out about this, the more the situation makes sense. But in the same light, the more questions come up. Now, mind you, it's going to be impossible to know for sure what's going on without putting some poor woman in the hospital because she is likely delivering one of my giant babies. I was 12 pounds 4 ounces when I was born, just to give you a rough idea. Like I said, I don't know what else to do. And sometimes the fact that I've been so open about this lately is kind of makes dating a little difficult. Being that Olivia is now synonymous with my name practically. And I don't know yet if previous partners have met her and maybe got freaked out because apparently there is some people have questioned, or some people have brought up concerns that they believe she may be trying to ward away people in order to help keep her parents together. Potentially, I don't know. I never thought I'd be in a position like this. But anyway, one last look at her. Let me know if you see her. Because the next thing I want to show you is something quite near and dear to my heart. And it heavily involves what influences me, and it talks quite a bit about her as well. Trust me, it only gets stranger the further in you go. An attack. Something we were hunting was hunting us back. I'm sorry. I wanted to share that trailer real quick to remind you of everything else that influences this on a supernatural scale. Bonds of Beyond was initially planned to explore the connections between UFO and spirit phenomenon. And in doing so, Michael the Archangel, my daughter Olivia, and the Lord of Shadows all made surprise cameos. I wasn't expecting that to happen. But, fortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, builds the story that much further. This has become quite unprecedented. If Olivia is in fact my daughter, and it was in fact Michael the Archangel that showed her to me, that's allowing her to do what she's doing, it's quite possible that that's something that hasn't happened since biblical times. So what is it about me? Why me? I've been pondering that for quite some time. I still don't have a fucking answer. What is it about me? What is it about my daughter? It's possible that something big is coming. In fact, that seems to be a common theme. Because in learning how to process and deal with the situation involving Olivia and Michael, there's been connections made to heaven, hell, alternate worlds, extraterrestrial species, even. And it's a lot to process. There's no real precedent on how to handle these types of things all at once. So that was part of the inspiration for this next little project I'm going to share with you. Some of you will know I'm actually a published author. I've written a few books, mostly fictional stuff based on my adventures, but a little bit of poetry. Also some music that you've already heard throughout this presentation. So yes, you're still getting a little bit of a concert, just a bit more cinematic approach, I guess, to reveal it all. But one project I started on was called Dear Coda, The Letters You Wish You Had. Essentially, it was an idea presented while I was attending therapy to write letters to my younger self addressing key events in my life. From the incident with my stepmother, to dealing with my father, to dealing with the paranormal. Because who's going to better understand how things unfold than myself 10 years from now? Just as an example. That was the idea behind the book. And it was something that I promised myself that I would return to every now and then to add more letters, to update the ones that are in there. Because, as an example, the first edition talked about a girl I was seeing who, unfortunately, the relationship ended up falling apart in a rather nasty sort of way. But in the long run, it was for the best. So here's the next little teaser for you. It's an updated version of it. It's called Dear Coda, Time to Fess Up. And it's trying to fit into a theme of being more honest and upfront with myself and those I care about. No matter how messed up or how hard it is for me to open up sometimes. Because like I said before, all of this is trying to make myself into the best possible version of myself before Olivia comes. The best possible version of myself, or whoever her mother may be. And yeah, there's someone I kind of have a thing for, but doesn't seem to be the right course of action, and that's something I respect. In case there's any of you that try to ask if there's any updates in that area, but you never know. you never know what's going to happen, especially in my life. So without further ado, here's the teaser trailer for Dear Dakota, Time to Fess Up. I hope you enjoy.
Who are you?
I'm the specialist.
It was just a teaser, so nothing too extravagant. But it also kind of brought some things to mind. You may have noticed I put on a little bracelet and had this little patch a dear friend of mine gave me. Life can be hard, especially with the pandemic and all the negativity that's been coming from it. And if you find yourself with people who try to understand you, that show that they are there for you no matter what, hold on to them tightly. Because family doesn't have to end in blood. And sometimes you may need their help more than you realize. And in the last few months, I've had the privilege of gaining such relationships. And these are people who I hope to carry with me till the very end. And yeah, there may be falling outs, there may be fights, there may be drama. But the people that have stuck around showed that they cared no matter what. That they're genuine in their feelings. And if any of them are watching right now, know that I appreciate you greatly. So what's going to be next? Well, I've also been kind of pondering a new channel trailer for my YouTube channel. Would you all like to see where I'm at with that? I think you would like to. I think y'all would like it. It'll be interesting. So here it is. The brand new the early stages of the brand new channel trailer for the one and only Specialist of the Strange. I know, how can I be taken serious with this shirt on? But, you know, it's a shout out, okay? I'm giving someone I care about a shout out. Alright, leave me alone. Alright, enjoy the fucking trailer, will you?
full story of why I choose to do this. Maybe it'll make sense.
So what did you all think? I try to make sure that everything I present to you all is in the best possible shape I can have it. I was thinking of trying to tease a new song, a demo version, so to speak, for tonight, but just can't get the mix right. It sucks, but it happens. However, there are some brand new songs that have been scattered through this video. And there's some that I gathered from my subscriptions that I still have active when it comes to creating these types of things. There's a lot more to be explored throughout all of this. And I hope you all genuinely enjoyed it. To my best friend who inspired this shirt I'm wearing, as well as the patch. And to Miss Panda that gave me the necklace. To everyone who's become part of my life in the last few months. I just want to take this opportunity to truly thank you for everything. And I hope that no matter what happens, the bonds we built remain, always. I don't know what's next for me. It's kind of hard to figure stuff like that out when you're stuck also trying to figure out fucking time travel. But figures. It's gonna be my kid. The thing that concerns me though is that she acts like she's about 3 years old, and if that's the mentality she's in. I was about 3 years old when the incident with my stepmom happened. In fact, I was just about to turn 4. By then, I was walking right in front of gunfire. It didn't scare me. But knowing the potential, knowing how much my kid is apparently just like me, it's horrifying. I guess on some level, I guess I can be glad she has good morals. She's willing to try to take on things that killed countless. She's willing to try to do the right thing, and I hope that I can be a father figure that can foster that. Man, I don't know. Sorry, the crickets got my attention. I don't know. It's hard to say what's next. Aside from watching out for the new book, for the new album. My website's going to undergo some new changes as well to try to better incorporate my books, movies, things like that. So, all the necessary links to find out my stuff should be in the description below. If you haven't already, please do subscribe, like, and share. There's quite a bit more work that needs to be done. Be sure to follow me on any of my social media pages to get more updates as they come. And hopefully, hopefully we have something great. My name is Dakota Franson. I am the one and only specialist of the strange. You all take care, be safe, and stay weird. You have a good night.